some science and then share the product that came out of that science, out of the farm. The difference is how we put those ingredients together and how we decide what fuel source and blend of calories, how much fat versus how much fiber versus how much soluble carb is best to fuel a racehorse versus a dressage horse versus a barrel racing horse. So one of the ways we can figure this out is with our treadmill system. Y'all probably remember when 15 was a relatively older horse. Now, they're showing into their low 20s, maybe past that. They're hanging out in the pasture till they're 30, healthfully. So this is the first feed that was designed to specifically meet the needs of older horses. They're less good at absorbing protein, they're less good at absorbing phosphorus, and they have a much decreased ability to get the good out of fiber that their hindgut used to when they ate hay when they were younger.
It's nice being associated with a science-based company because you can see they don't put just any product out willy-nilly and on a marketing whim. They make sure it works. 125 years, they're not going to take a chance on ruining that reputation of putting a product out there. So if it's made by Purina, it's going to work for you. Please welcome Purina National Ambassador Boyd Martin.
There's 4 people out of 380 million people in America that represent their country in 3-day eventing at the Olympics. And it's so hard to get on this Olympic team. And you've got to push yourself so hard to just get selected. And then the hardest thing in the world is to say to yourself after you've been selected on the team that going to the Olympics isn't actually the goal. It's going to the Olympics and doing my very best, giving a personal best performance for the country. If you really want to do something, you don't have an excuse. If you really want something bad enough, you go out and get it. And if you're hungry and desperate and willing to do whatever it takes, you can get it. And you can see that in all walks of life. And for me, I hear a lot of whingers and whiners saying, well, that guy's got money, of course he's successful, and he's got a foreign accent, no wonder he's got clients, or there's no excuse. It doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl, black or white. If you're really desperate to do something, you go out and do it. And I don't think there's a reason in the world, especially in this great country, why you can't do it. If you're hungry enough and desperate enough and do it and willing to do whatever it takes, you can get it. And as parents, we want to do everything we can to help our kids along, but at the end of the day, it's up to the kids to do. It's their kids to do it.
Our lives are full of little moments, encounters, accomplishments, experiences. Don't take any of those for granted because you never know when those little moments are going to become the biggest parts of our journey. So after my accident, I started recording some of my little accomplishments in videos I called Wheelchair Wednesdays, where nearly every Wednesday I was posting videos of things I was learning and relearning how to do in my chair. Pretty simple, right? Opening, closing doors, going up and down ramps, and then things with my horses. Well, I want to share with you one of my most favorite Wheelchair Wednesday discoveries.
This is my rope horse Wrangler. He's shorter than my barrel horse. If you guys have been following my Wheelchair Wednesdays, you know that. So at some point I'll try it on my barrel horse, but right now it's just on Wrangler. So, granted, this is only like my 4th time doing this, so we're still a little rusty, but anyway, it's still pretty cool. So in order to do it, I have to reach up on this ladder that's on my trailer, reach my saddle horn, pull myself up, and I can land on the saddle. So it's gonna work, it's good.
Thank you. I will tell you what, that was something I did not know I was capable of until it happened. Some of the coolest things I think we do in our lives are when we have pushed ourselves to that limit we think we have, and then take one more step. We all have this book of life, right? That we decide when it's over. Or we can decide to turn the page. You never realized how close you were to success when you gave up. So I thought, this is where I have to dig deep, right? I had to think that then, and I had to think that back in 2011 when it was 9 months after I'd gone without my horses. I had a reporter that called me and asked if they could do a story, and I hadn't told anybody I wasn't writing, and I felt like it was the excuse I needed to get back on. You never realized how close you were to success when you gave up. That choice is up to you. So finally I got back on and thought, who was I kidding? I've got to get to my last goal. Took me a little bit, but it was 18 months officially after my accident when I made my very first run back in the arena. I was 1 second off what I had been before my accident. I felt like that was an okay place to start. We get to decide what comes next. We get to decide what lies ahead. If I could challenge you all one thing, it would be to find the light in the darkness. Lean on your support and find the strength in your obstacles, because we all decide what we are capable of, and it might as well be awesome. And by the way, I have no doubt in my mind I'm going to walk. It's not if, it's just when.
Super talk. Thank you, Amber Lee. Everybody on our staff that helped tonight, would you come up on stage for the presentation? Boyd, we have a little gift for you and Amber Lee.
Oh my. Let me show you.
This is the working group over here, so let's give them a big thank you.
All right, we're going to do autographs now. Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. Please drive safely home.
See First chicken feed, you give this to your horses.
And they'll start chirping?
They're gonna rock.